G'day everyone, welcome back to another video of Chris Rankin's Music Crush. A bit of a simple one and a little bit shorter probably today. This is a thread started by Ron Haggerty at Ron Haggerty's Vinyl Sanctuary, where he asked to give 10 reds. And I thought about it and thought, yeah, I think I can come up with 10 reds. So yeah, this will be my answer to his thread that he started. It's a great channel. He's a great guy. I'll put a link to his channel in the description below. And this is my 10 reds in answer to his Gimme 10 Reds thread that he started. Oh, and of course, I thought, yeah, I might as well get a red in on the shirt as well. So I've got my Sodom, the First Sign of Evil shirt on with the red masked fellow there. Cheerful chap that he is. Right, so here we go, the first one. Give me 10 reds. So first up, we've got Beyond Mortal Dreams. It's a single by a death metal band from Adelaide. This came out in 2014. Fantastic band. And not only is the cover red, but if I can get, oh yeah, there we go. We've also got the red vinyl there on the single. So there we go. We're away already. That's the first red. Next. So I thought I'll be a little bit clever here. So yeah, I mean, the cover is reddish. There's certainly reddish there, and we've got, of course, we've always got to show the wonderful gatefold off for this landmark flawless album, in my opinion. But of course, it's the title of the band and the title of the album. King Crimson, Crimson Red, in the court of the Crimson King, Crimson Red. So I thought I'll be a little bit clever and have that as a red entry. But yeah, I love this album. It's one of my favourite albums of all time. And really, when I think hard and long, when I was very, very little and this record was playing in the house, and I was a toddler, this really was the album that sort of started to cement my love for music and so forth. So this is a very important album to me and a massive landmark, and I still think it's one of the greatest albums ever made. I love this so much. Number 3. So we've got a band, heavy metal band from Detroit. Now, this originally came out in 1984 and was reissued in 2020. Messiah, Final Warning. We got the big red dragon on the front. It was Aaron the Metal Theologian that alerted me to this reissue and this fantastic band. Just a brilliant, brilliant album. And then there was another one that came out at the same time that was reissued that had the big sort of metal chain and ball on the front cover. I think it's just self-titled. It's got a white cover. Both magnificent, both unmissable as a reissue. But there we go. We've got a red dragon on the front. Next up, we've got one of my favourite bands of all time. I know a lot of people know and love this band, but I'm always shocked about the amount of people that don't know or love this band. I think they are just unique. I think they are on their own. I think they just do things differently to everybody else. One of my favourite bands of all time, and they are, of course, Voivod. And this is their debut full length. I could have shown the To the Death, but I only have that on CD, but that's an all red cover. But there we go, that's the debut full length, War and Pain. And there we are there with the red cover. I love Voivod. I love Voivod so much. The way they sort of mixed, definitely not on the first one on the debut, but the way they mixed thrash and prog and a bit of a punk vibe and just and the science fiction, all the science fiction lyrics and writing that went with a lot of their albums. I'm only missing 4 now out of their 14 studio albums, only missing 4, so yeah, I'll get there eventually. Right, what am I up to? Number 5. Band out of New York. This is their 4th album from memory, 3rd or 4th. I think it's pretty sure it's the 4th album from 1994. Now the cover isn't particularly red, so Prong, and their absolutely brilliant groove metal album, Cleansing, which of course had the outstanding song Snap Your Fingers, Snap Your Neck, one of the best metal songs of all time. But why I'm showing this is because, where are we? We've got the nice red vinyl. There we go. So that was number 5, Prong, Cleansing. I've always sort of really flown the flag for Prong, as far as I believe that they were one of the very first groove metal bands, especially with their albums Beg to Differ. Absolutely fantastic groove metal album. And I kind of think that along with Exorder, they were the 2 bands that really got the groove metal sound going. What do we got now? Number 6. This is my favourite album by this band. This band really was one of the bands that really cemented my love of heavy metal and my obsession for heavy metal very, very early on in life. We had a show in Australia that some of you would remember called Countdown, which was a show sort of the 70s and early 80s into the mid 80s, and all sorts of music. But I remember seeing, I would have been about 5 or 6 years old, about 1979 it would have been, and they showed some clips of Judas Priest and some interviews, and I was just hooked by the whole sound and the look of the album art and all. You know, I've loved science fiction and all that sort of stuff since I was very, very young. And I'm talking about Judas Priest, of course. And this is my favourite album by Judas Priest, Stained Class. And it not completely red, but yeah, there's certainly enough red on there, I think, to qualify. But yeah, this is my favourite Judas Priest album. Sad Wings of Destiny would be my second favourite album, but this is my favourite. And of course, you even have the song on here, White Heat, Red Hot. So we get another point there for red. So there we go. Number 7. Now here we go. This is an album I bought when I was quite young, and I got my sister to help me buy. She used to do a lot of that sort of stuff when I was quite young. I'd already bought a couple of sort of hard rock medley sort of albums. I'd already bought Killers, Iron Maiden Killers on cassette by this stage. But I used to like getting these records, and I'm so glad I've kept them from all those years back, because they're a good timeline to go back. I used to get a lot of these like hits of the year type albums, or they'd like come out every quarterly, and they'd always have like a catchy title, just a compilation of various artists and hits. So there's your red, and this is 1982 With a Bullet. And I'll show you, you can see there some of the, I don't know how well that comes out, but you can see some of the artists and the songs on there. That might take some of you back. See that, and then you'd get on the back, you get like the ones that had come out before. I've already shown that 1980, the summer before, and no, I don't have any more on that list, but I do have others before and after this one as well. Yeah, I used to really love these records. They're just a good way of hearing, you know, a whole lot of good songs. And as I say, I'm so glad I kept these from when I was little, because now it's a really great way to go back and hear like a section in time of music. Number 8. Now this band I love very much. They happen to have claim as for me with my very first concert that I went to, major concert. That was in 1987. I was 13 and I went to see this band at the Perth Entertainment Centre. Blew me away, absolutely blew me away. But I loved them from long before that. That was just the first chance I got to go as a semi-old enough person to go to a concert, and it was at a big arena, so it was reasonably safe. Went up with some friends. So, but I'm talking about ZZ Top, and not entirely red, but certainly a lot of red in there. This is Fandango. This is, of course, their album that has the one side is all the live stuff, and then side 2 is all the studio songs. Absolutely brilliant album from 1975. ZZ Top, Fandango. Certainly enough red in there, I think, to qualify. Number 9, and this is kind of topical as well to show this record. Very likely, I think, to be my favourite non-metal band of all time. I mean, they certainly have dabbled in the areas of metal a little bit, but not much. They're certainly loved by a lot of heavy metal fans, that's for sure. But yeah, they're probably my favourite non-metal band of all time, one of my absolute favourite bands. And of course, tomorrow will be the anniversary, sadly, of the Professor passing away 1 year ago. And I'm filming this now, but by the time this is uploaded, it'll be tomorrow. So I'm talking about Rush, and this is their 1987 album, Hold Your Fire. I like this album. I know it got some criticism back then, and it still does a little bit. And yes, you cannot compare it to their big prog masterpieces, but it's a really catchy album. Force 10 is actually pretty heavy. And Time Stands Still, it's the only time they've had a female vocalist on a song as a main sort of vocalist or backing vocalist. And it's a little bit corny, that song, Time Stands Still, but damn is it catchy. It is so catchy, and I actually really love it. But yeah, so yeah, rest in peace, Neil Peart, the Professor. A very, very sad loss a year ago. Well, today it will be when I upload this. And yeah, so there's my number 9, Rush with Hold Your Fire. Number 10, the very last one. A fantastic band. I showed their other album that I have in a previous video, but this, I did it well actually, because this cover is a lot more red, and I'm talking about Acid from Belgium. Speed metal band from Belgium. This was their second album, although they did pretty much come out in the same year. This also came out in 1983. This one's called Maniac. The first one was just self-titled, and as you can see, a whole lot of red on the cover. So there we have it. Thanks, Ron. A good idea for a thread. As I say, please, if you get the chance, check out Ron's channel. It's a really, really good channel. He puts a lot of effort into it, and I always enjoy watching his videos. He knows a lot of good music, he really does. So it's Ron Haggerty's Vinyl Sanctuary, and thanks very much. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you very soon. Thanks.